At this point, we've gained access to the system, and now we have to figure out what to do with that access. Depending on the level of access gained by the exploit or the vulnerability, we have a couple of different things here, and that's why this step has been moved in just after gaining access to the system. Privilege escalation and owning the box basically means that we want to have administrative access or more access than we currently have, possibly gaining access to privileged information or gaining a privileged account. A great example of this is starting out at guest level, for example, as a web browser or internet user account, and moving up from normal user or guest user to increase the privilege levels to power user or possibly an administrative group or even the administrator or the root account. The term owning the box means gaining full control over the system. Often this might mean stopping services, changing vulnerabilities around. A very common tactic out in the field is actually to take the system over, and we want to lock that system down so even the sysadmins can't get to it and other hackers can't exploit it as well. So when you see a live hacker in the field performing attacks against somebody without permission, they want to get access to it, and they want to own that box by having full control over the system, usually more so than even the administrators have. So privilege escalation can be defined out for us in a great example. Let's go back to that PHP application we were talking about earlier. In the particular statements that I was running against that web application, I was able to read the records in the database. I was able to go in and actually see what was happening inside the database by running certain queries and post statements against the database through the web application. Well, I may have wanted to perform even more and see just how far I could go with that by trying to escalate the privileges that I was using to query against the database. So I might go ahead and try to drop a table, for example, or remove the table from the database. If I get a permission denied, I want to elevate those privileges so that I can perform that action. I can do that in a lot of different ways. If there's PHP session IDs, or if there are possibly user accounts that might exist where you have to log into that system, then I would try to possibly manipulate the record for one of the accounts that has sysadmin privileges and log in under that account and perform the actions that I want. So again, privilege escalation is a very common process involved once you've gained access to the system so that you can ultimately own that box.